Live content accounts for almost a quarter of global viewing time. Live video generates 27% more minutes of watch time per viewing than on-demand video. Live streaming is a $70 billion industry. What does it all mean? Let's find out on the Why I Go Live podcast with Coach Kirk.
Welcome back. It's always good to have you on the podcast. Listen, this is You Are Why We Do What We Do. That's the reason why we're here, is because you guys who are our listeners, our faithful supporters here at How It All Works. I get to be your host, and my name is Kirk Nugent. Also go by the Geek Speaker Preacher. I believe your live stream is your digital storefront. Let me repeat that. Your live stream is your digital storefront, because there's no greater way for people to experience your superpower, your secret sauce, than for them to see you do it live. When they see you do it live, they don't need the taste test. You know, that little piece of chicken they give you in the mall, right? From the Chinese store. You don't need the taste test. You're ready to buy. You're ready to get a full meal. Why? Because you've seen them do it live. There's just this magic you cannot recreate when live. And so this is the Why I Go Live podcast. And we're excited to have you here. We're excited to have you here. Listen, more than 90 million subscribers will use live streaming in 2024. That's from Vimeo. 90 million. What in the world could all the rage be about? Why in the world are people doing this, you might ask? And if you are asking that, you're in the right place. And I'm excited that we have our guest with us today. Linnita, how are you?
I'm excited to be here. I'm feeling good.
Good. Man, you're no stranger to the How It All Works audience. Of course, this is a slightly different format, but you've been on here before, and we're excited to have you back. We got to give it a T-shirt that says HIW alumni or something, right? Because
I'm definitely an alum.
They're definitely an
alumni. Yes.
Absolutely. But listen, we've garnered a slightly different audience since then, and definitely want to make sure that they know who you are and what you do, and how do you approach this whole content creation arena? So share with us a little bit before we get into our main question of the day.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here. Hey, everybody. I'm Linnita Hosten, and I simply I support women leaders in building the audacity to use their voice in any room. Doesn't matter who's in the room. In plain language, I'm a public speaking coach. I've been speaking for 10 years. I consider myself an edutainer. I believe that when you are sharing a message or you're teaching from something, we should teach from the lens of the audience, and in some way that should be entertaining.
Wow.
And so I'm excited to be here and to share with you guys.
Absolutely awesome. I love it. I've always wanting to bring people on the podcast who are not necessarily like full-on streamers. Like, streaming is not their main thing, like me. My whole thing is live streaming. So of course I'm going to say go live. But you're coming at this from a completely different approach.
Absolutely.
And you've incorporated, I follow you, and you've incorporated content creation,
Yes.
live streaming in particular,
Yeah.
into your entire strategy.
Yep.
So man, that.
And
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Kirk. I was the first person in my industry to do so at this professional level.
And
it was because I actually met you and a few others in the pandemic. I came to it was like a backstage event.
That's right.
And everybody, all the live streamers had visually exceptional quality video. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. It was an after party.
I was on
Zoom, yes.
I had a blurb screen, and I said, why do I look like that? And I was like, I want to look like y'all.
Come on.
So I was the first person in my industry. When I say industry, I mean in professional speaking.
Please say it.
To transition to have a content studio, essentially, to be using a professional camera, and to start creating my content at this level, like Kurt's level.
Come on, right there. Oh my gosh, this is a whole message by itself. We can end the podcast right now. No, but that is absolutely awesome. I think this is one of the things I love about entrepreneurs, but people who are in their space, in their niche, really staying in their lane. There is a necessary amount of curiosity that is required. Because you didn't have to come to that after party. You didn't have to ask the questions that you asked, but you did. And the results are literally, you on the cutting edge, as they say, right? You broke the mold for your industry, and that's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
That is phenomenal. But yeah, you have absolutely incorporated live streaming into your overall strategy. And so this is the whole point of the show right here. I want to ask this question. All right, this is it. We're teeing it up.
Okay, let's go.
So Linnita, why do you go live?
It maintains my visibility.
Come
to keep me sharp on my toes. I if I didn't have, now it's baked into my schedule. I'm live every Tuesday.
Yeah.
If I didn't have that kind of accountability, when my business was slow, I probably would have been rusty.
Oh, wow.
But live streaming consistently keeps me sharp. When I live stream on Tuesdays for my podcast, Excellence and Everything Live, I study for that. And not study because I don't know, I study to prepare. That keeps me sharp. I'm always looking for new topics to teach on. And so now it's like a habit. Now, I'm going to be honest, some nights I don't want to do it. I don't. I'm sitting at this desk like, oh, I don't. And then when it's time to go live, something in me, the same thing that turns on when I'm on stage, and people come and they have an information exchange, and it reminds me as to why. But I do it to maintain consumer visibility.
That's good. Listen, oh my gosh, there's a whole masterclass in what she just answered right there. But there's just one point that I'm going to tease out. I told you I wasn't going to ask you anything else, but I got to ask this one. When you say that it keeps you sharp, it keeps you no. This is what let me rephrase it. Okay. When you say I get the same thing that I get on stage, there's a feeling. What feeling are you referring to?
It feels purposeful. I feel like I'm actually teaching. My podcast isn't fluff, so I'm actually teaching concepts. People often say you should be charging for this. I do charge for it.
That's right.
You just get to experience it, a small dose of it every Tuesday.
Come on.
But the knowledge transfer that people are getting, I like teaching. It's a spiritual gift of mine.
Gosh.
So I think that's what it is. And when the pandemic came, it gave us an opportunity to, I guess, introduce. To take the live streaming component, not just for live streamers,
Totally
but
agree.
to transcend into other areas so that we could do hybrid events and serve clients hybrid, because now it's baked into how I serve clients too.
Absolutely.
Because I've upgraded the look of it. So it's not, hey, come to a Zoom call. It's like, no, we have monthly master classes.
Come on.
It's an upsell.
Right.
And just looking visibly professional definitely prepares a buyer when you get them on a discovery call that they know the service is definitely going to be an investment.
Oh gosh, there's just so much here. Look. there's just so much here. There's so much here, man. And if you guys are tracking with what she has been sharing, this is cross industry, y'all. This has nothing to do with just public speaking or just remote production or live streaming. This is cross industry. This is across the board. I won't lie. I felt very much the same as you. My reps in terms of coming on and being live, that's what kept me, on the cutting edge, kept me lucid, kept me a viable option. And many times people will hit me up and say, man, listen, I want you to produce my show, but episode 6 of season 2, I want that design. Like, it becomes almost like a catalog of what they want to buy from me. And I just find that to be absolutely amazing. So listen, this is our final, this is just, we follow-up question. Again, these are meant to be bite-sized. We just want to plug this thing in your ear real quick and get out of your way. But this is an impact question. Share with us one of the craziest things that has happened that you can directly link to your live shows. Like, as you follow those breadcrumbs back, or as you talk to that person and say, how did you find me, or what brought this to your mind? How did you know that I could do this thing? But when you follow those breadcrumbs back, it kind of came from your live shows. Share with us one of the craziest things that may have happened.
Man, this is crazy. In the pandemic, I went live for 30 days straight. My business coach suggested it. I was releasing a new digital product, and a woman at the end of my 30-day, a woman emailed me and said, I would love for you to have a partnership with a school that I work with in San Antonio, Texas. I'm in Maryland, by the way.
Wow.
Never met this woman. I didn't even know she was following my lives. And she said, and I'm not kidding, so as soon as you send the contract, I'll send the money. She put that in the email. I'd never even seen that in writing before. I said, okay. She didn't even want to. She just said, just send me your deliverables, timeline, send me the cost, put it in the contract. A stranger. But I guess to her, I wasn't strange, because for 30 days, I was conveying a level of competency that she could clearly see. So I sent her that contract, and she wasn't playing. She paid right away.
That's awesome.
And To this day, I have a scholarship fund. It's not active now, but she was the first person to email me back when I sent out a request for donors. She donated $1,000. Never met this woman. And she said in her email, whatever you're doing, I trust God's hand is in it, so I'm going to sow. And that is literally from that 30-day series I went live. And so I'm determined to meet her. She's in San Antonio, Texas. Determined to meet her.
That's so awesome.
She's a good client of mine. And she's also purchased classes for my public speaking classes as well. But that's the best one. And at that time, I hadn't even been live streaming long, and I didn't have a lot of followers. And I was live streaming from my cell phone when she encountered me. I didn't have this.
You are just checking all the boxes right now. I feel like if I say anything else, I'm gonna mess it up. So all I'm gonna add is this. So what she said to you is, I don't need the taste test, right? She said she didn't need the little piece of orange chicken or General Tso's in the mall, right? She said, I want the full meal. Let me tell you, live streaming will blow it up. That is dope, sis. That is awesome. Take just a few more seconds to tell people what you got coming up next, how they can follow. You talked about the show on Tuesdays. Definitely want to make sure that they check that out as well. We'll have your links and your handles in the show notes as well. But just take a second, let them know if there's anything that you got coming up, something that they can patronize, something they can get a hold of. Somebody might be listening who's like, wait a minute, I need to get my speaking on another level as well. So take a second and share some of that stuff.
Thank you for that. Public speaking is a skill that we cannot afford to leave underdeveloped. It's a non-negotiable soft skill. And so next Friday, I'm doing a virtual masterclass on helping women leaders build out a structural keynote. If you're commonly asked to speak and you have no idea how to generate content from 15 to 60 minutes of content that keeps an audience on the edge of their seat, that's trigger right there. Then you need to be in my masterclass. So that's coming up, buildmymessage.com. You can get information about that. And then we run public speaking classes quarterly, and the next one will be in person. But you can find out all of that. We talk about it every Tuesday on the Excellence in Everything Live podcast, and you can find me on every social platform at Linnita Hosten. That's Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, all of them.
Listen, if I'm gonna drop a bomb in the post when I'm editing this. When you finish that lineup right there, that is awesome, fam. Listen, you guys have heard it from her. You didn't hear it from me. You heard it from her. This live streaming thing, even without the equipment, I couldn't have set that up. I could not even have tried. I couldn't even have dreamed of setting that up. So, even without the equipment, with her phone, can have impact on anything that you want to do. If you're a small business, you're a coach, author, consultant, you are an entrepreneur, you want to shine a floodlight on what it is that you want to do. Listen, when people tell you that you are the best kept secret, they're not complimenting you. They want you to keep your prices low. That's what it is. They don't want the world to find out about your greatness, because they know when they do that you won't have necessarily time for them anymore. And I'm telling you, if you want to go from unknown to top of mind, tip of tongue, right? You want to go from obscure to a household name? Live streaming, fam. Live streaming is the difference maker, and I challenge you to try it out. I want to thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us here on the Why I Go Live podcast. Linnita, thank you so much for being with us today. We're going to wrap it up with this one. Later, fam. Be blessed.
Why I Go Live, hosted by Coach Kirk, is a composition production. Real streamers, honest stories, and incredible impact. Add your voice to the conversation. Go to kirkrnugent.live/member to join the community. And let's figure out how it all works.